Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you must look in the mirror and face the undeniable truth. You are either in control of your life or your life is in control of you. Too many people are drifting, moving through each day like passengers on a ship with no captain, no compass, and no map. And when the storms of life hit, they wonder why they're lost at sea. Owning your life means taking responsibility, not just when it's convenient, not just when it feels good, but every single day. The hard truth is this: if you don't make decisions for your life, someone else will. Your boss will, your bills will, your fears will, and eventually your regrets will. But when you decide, this is my life, my vision, my destiny, you snatch back the power that was yours all along. Now, understand this. Excuses are the chains that keep most people bound. They say, I would chase my dream, but I don't have the time. I would take care of my health, but I don't have the energy. I would build my future, but I don't have the resources. Let me tell you something: excuses will always be available, but so will opportunity. The difference is opportunity doesn't wait. Excuses keep you sitting. Opportunity requires you to stand. And until you stand up and own your choices, life will continue to own you. Discipline may not be fun, but it is freedom. The moment you choose to set standards for your life, what you will accept, what you will not accept, what you will tolerate, you begin to rise above the chaos. You're no longer reacting to everything around you. You're leading, you're building, you're commanding your time instead of watching it slip away. Every single day, you are making deposits into the bank of your destiny. Every choice you make is either an investment in your future or a withdrawal that robs you of tomorrow. Too many people want a championship life, but are living with practice-level habits. You can't expect greatness while feeding yourself excuses, distractions, and comfort. You must decide, am I moving closer to who I want to become, or am I drifting further away? The greatest tragedy is not death. It is living a life that never belonged to you because you gave the pen to someone else to write your story. You let fear write it. You let comfort write it. You let people who don't believe in you write it. But today, right here, you can take that pen back. You can own your life. So I say to you, stop waiting, stop drifting, stop settling. Own your mornings, own your mindset, own your habits, own your vision, own your life before it owns you. Most people go through life not even realizing that they're on autopilot. They wake up, scroll through their phone, drag themselves to work, complain about their day, go to sleep, and then repeat the same cycle again. They're breathing, but they're not really living. And the tragedy of it all is that they don't even notice how much of their power they've given away. When you don't take charge of your own decisions, you are allowing life to decide for you. And life, my friends, will always take the path of least resistance. It will pull you down instead of lifting you up. If you want to rise, you have to break free from autopilot. You have to stop coasting and start driving. Every day you wake up, you are faced with decisions that will either move you closer to your purpose or further from it. And when you say, I'll do it tomorrow, or it doesn't matter, you're choosing to hand over your power. Think about it. How many people wanted to lose weight but never took the first step, and now their health is failing them? How many people wanted to start that business but kept putting it off until the opportunity passed them by? How many people wanted to say, I love you, or I forgive you, but waited too long, and now the chance is gone forever? Life does not wait. You have to be intentional about how you live. When you wake up, ask yourself, am I living today, or is today living me? That question will shake you because most of us are just reacting. The alarm clock goes off and we react. A bill shows up in the mail and we react. Somebody doesn't believe in us and we react. But people who own their lives don't just react. they create. They don't wait for life to happen. They make life happen. When you stop living on autopilot, you become the author of your own story. You take the pen back from fear, from doubt, from the opinions of other people. You decide the direction you want to go in. And let me tell you, when you start choosing on purpose, life becomes different. It may not become easier, but it becomes yours. You stop living by accident and you start living by design. You have to wake up every day with the awareness that your decisions are shaping your destiny. One small choice can change everything. One choice to study instead of scrolling. One choice to save instead of spending. One choice to work on your dream instead of watching someone else live theirs. Those choices compound, and before you know it, you're no longer on autopilot. You're flying the plane. So stop drifting. Stop letting life decide who you will be. Own your decisions, own your direction, because if you don't, life will own you, and you'll wake up years from now wondering how you ended up where you are. When you look at the life you want, the dreams you've written down, the vision you carry deep inside your heart, you must understand one thing. Nothing will move until you do. You cannot sit back and expect things to just fall into place. Life doesn't hand you your dreams. It demands that you fight for them. And the greatest fight you'll ever have is not with the world outside of you, but with the excuses, fears, and doubts inside of you. Every single one of us has been guilty of waiting for the right time, waiting for the right circumstances, waiting until the money comes in, until people believe in us, until the fear goes away. But here's the truth. There will never be a perfect time. If you don't move now, that hesitation becomes a habit. And that habit robs you of your destiny. The graveyard is full of people who were waiting for the right time. People who had gifts, talents, dreams, and ideas that the world never got to see because they kept postponing their lives. Owning your life means refusing to hide behind excuses. Yes, you may not have had the best start. Yes, life may have handed you struggles you didn't ask for. But here's the deal. As long as you keep blaming your past, your boss, your family, or your situation, you give away your power. You can't change what you refuse to take responsibility for. Excuses might make you feel safe for a while, but they will not move you forward. Every excuse you make is building a wall between you and your greatness. And the longer you live behind that wall, the harder it becomes to break free. That's why you must make a decision right now. No more excuses. Excuses are nothing more than permission to stay the same. If you want change, you must take full ownership. That means if you're not where you want to be in life, you stop pointing fingers and start pointing at the person in the mirror. Because the moment you accept that your life is your responsibility, you unlock the power to transform it. Think about this. Successful people have challenges too. They have setbacks, they have fears, they have doubts. But the difference is they don't allow those things to stop them. They choose to act in spite of fear. They choose to press forward in spite of obstacles. They choose discipline over excuses. And that choice, repeated every single day, creates unstoppable momentum. So if you're serious about owning your life, you've got to kill the excuse habit. You've got to stop telling yourself, I can't, and start telling yourself, I must. You've got to stop waiting and start working. Because when you remove excuses from your vocabulary, you make room for results in your life. The truth is simple. You either own your excuses or you own your destiny, but you cannot have both. Which one are you choosing today? Discipline is the bridge between the life you want and the life you have. Without discipline, dreams remain just dreams. Nice ideas that make you feel good for a moment but never come alive. Discipline is what takes you from wishing to working, from hoping to happening. It's what transforms potential into power. And here's the truth, life doesn't reward people who just want it. Life rewards people who are willing to show up every day and do the work even when they don't feel like it. Most people know what they need to do. They know the steps, they know the habits, they know the changes. But knowing doesn't make the difference. Doing does. And doing requires discipline. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about making a choice day after day to move in the direction of your goals, even when distractions, excuses, and temptations are calling your name. Discipline means saying no to comfort and yes to growth. Comfort feels good right now, but it robs you of your future. Growth feels uncomfortable, but it pays dividends for the rest of your life. Every time you push yourself to get up when you want to stay in bed, every time you focus on your work when you'd rather scroll through your phone, every time you choose long-term vision over short-term pleasure, you are building the muscle of discipline. And the stronger that muscle gets, the more unstoppable you become. Think about an athlete. They don't win championships because they just want to win. They win because of the hours nobody saw, the training, the sacrifice, the sweat, the discipline of repeating drills over and over until mastery became their reality. And the same applies to your life. You may not be running a race on a track, but you are running the race of your destiny. And only discipline will carry you to the finish line. The challenge is discipline will not always feel rewarding in the moment. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening. You keep showing up, you keep grinding, and the result seems slow. But let me tell you something discipline compounds. The small steps you take every day begin to stack up. The sacrifices you make now turn into freedom later. And the consistency that feels boring today will produce breakthroughs tomorrow. There are two types of pain in life, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. And every day you put off discipline, you are adding more weight to your regret. But every day you practice discipline, you are lightening your future, opening doors of opportunity, and proving to yourself that you have what it takes. If you want to own your life, you must master discipline. You cannot be casual about your goals and expect them to happen. You cannot be half committed and expect full results. Discipline is proof to life that you are serious. And when life sees that seriousness, it responds. So ask yourself, what are you willing to discipline yourself for? Because the quality of your life tomorrow depends on the discipline you choose today. Responsibility is the price of freedom. Until you take full responsibility for your life, every choice, every setback, every missed opportunity, you will always find yourself trapped by excuses, blaming circumstances, or pointing fingers at others. The truth is, you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And when you step into that truth, you step into power. Taking responsibility doesn't mean beating yourself up for past mistakes. It means owning them. It means saying, yes, I did that. Yes, I made that choice. And yes, I have the power to make a new one. Responsibility puts the pen back in your hand so you can write the next chapter of your story. As long as you blame your boss, your family, the economy, or your past, you are handing over your pen. You are saying, here, you write my life for me. But when you accept responsibility, you take the pen back and declare, this is my story, and I will decide how it unfolds. The world is filled with people waiting for luck, waiting for a miracle, waiting for someone else to save them. But waiting never changes anything. Action does. And responsibility is the fuel that drives action. Responsibility forces you to stop waiting and start moving. It tells you, if it is to be, it is up to me. Look at the lives of great achievers. They all had reasons to quit, reasons to complain, reasons to blame others. But they chose responsibility instead. They chose to see challenges as lessons, not curses. They chose to rise instead of pointing fingers. They understood that as long as you keep saying, "It's someone else's fault," you give away your power. But the moment you say, "It's on me," that's when you unlock the strength to change. Responsibility also teaches resilience, because when you accept that you are in charge, you stop running from failure. You see it as part of the process. You recognize that setbacks don't define you. They refine you. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" That shift in mindset can change the trajectory of your entire life. And let's be real, accepting responsibility is not always easy. It forces you to confront your fears, to admit where you've been slacking, to face uncomfortable truths about yourself. But that discomfort is the beginning of transformation. Growth doesn't happen in denial. Growth happens in ownership. When you take responsibility, you no longer live at the mercy of circumstances. You live in the power of choice. You stop being a victim of life and start becoming the architect of it. Responsibility says, "Yes, I fell, but I can get back up. Yes, I failed, but I am not finished. Yes, I hurt, but I can heal and move forward." That is the mindset that creates freedom, strength, and destiny. The day you stop blaming and start owning is the day you start winning. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the key that unlocks the door to the life you've been dreaming of. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of fear. Every dream you hold, every goal you whisper to yourself when no one else is around will require courage. Life will test you. It will push you to the edge and whisper in your ear, "You can't handle this. You're not enough." And in those moments, you must find the strength to answer back, "Watch me." The truth is, fear is a natural part of growth. If you feel fear, it means you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, and that's where all transformation happens. But here's the mistake so many people make: they wait for fear to go away before they act. That day will never come. Courage is not about waiting until you feel safe. It's about acting while your knees are shaking, while your voice trembles, while your heart races, because courage is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Think about the opportunities you've already missed because you hesitated, because you doubted yourself, because you allowed fear to have the final say. Those moments are gone, but they don't have to define you. What matters is what you decide to do today. Will you continue to let fear hold the pen to your story, or will you take it back and write with boldness? Courage is the ink that writes destiny. Courage is also about being authentic. It takes bravery to show the world who you really are, to pursue the calling on your life even when others laugh, doubt, or criticize. There will always be people who say, "You can't do that," or "That's impossible." But courage says, "I don't need your approval to live my truth." Courage allows you to stand tall even when you stand alone. And let's be clear, courage doesn't mean you won't fall. You will stumble, you will face rejection, you will encounter setbacks. But courage teaches you that falling is not the end, it's part of the journey. Every fall is an education, every rejection is redirection, and every setback is a setup for a comeback. Courage helps you see the light when everything around you feels dark. There is greatness inside of you, but it will remain dormant until you dare to act. You will never know how strong, how creative, how resilient you truly are until you step into situations that demand courage. The life you want is waiting on the other side of fear. The future you dream of is already prepared, but it requires you to be bold enough to claim it. So ask yourself right now, what would I do if I had no fear? That question reveals what courage is calling you to pursue. Don't let fear rob you of your future. Courage is not just about doing extraordinary things. It's about making the choice every single day to move one step closer to your destiny. It's about saying, I refuse to shrink. I refuse to let fear decide my fate. I choose to live fully, boldly, unapologetically. That is the power of courage. That is the key to unlocking the life you were created for.